my name is Heidi Maria, and you are now listening to my podcast, Love, Joy, and Heartset. I'm so grateful that you are listening to my podcast. I'm grateful for all the wonderful people that I meet and that I get to know when I'm interviewing them. I have got the amazing experience to interview people from all over the world about spirituality, about love, and their mission in life. Today, I am so happy to have my guest of the day. So enjoy. I am so happy to have a really interesting person with me here today in this podcast. Susanne. Can you please introduce yourself and tell a little bit about how you start your journey in the spiritual world?
Oh, wow. Where to start? Well, as you introduced I'm known for being healer Susanne, and I've been working full-time as a healer since 2009. In the beginning, I was chasing career, so I was working in the oil business for a long time. But actually, the changes possibly were just overnight in a way, because I was kind of forced to get to know the power within me.
Yeah.
Because one day I was going home from work, doing my average stuff, putting on TV, I was planning supper. But in a way, I was finding myself in a meditation in a way. And I've never been the type of person who meditates at all. So I was sitting there in my couch, I turned off the TV, and I could feel this intense vibration. I can't even try to explain the feeling, but it was kind of overwhelming because it was warm, it was bubbly. It felt actually like a little feeling of being in love in a way. But there wasn't any guy I was thinking of. It was just me and the force around me. And that was the start of a meeting with my spiritual guide, Aurora. And she was kind of just introducing herself and making me aware that it's something bigger than myself, and that she was the start of a journey where I'm supposed to help people to find their own power and be a translator for their healing possibilities to people. So it was kind of a very fact-based everyday life, and it turned out to be this amazing spiritual journey. And from that day, my life was totally different.
Wow, that is really exciting. And when you have seen the world in so different ways, when did you start to see the change in you?
Well, the thing is, since I was a child, I knew a lot of stuff. I just knew stuff, and I thought everybody was like that. So if I had exams, for instance, I was preparing myself for different stuff into, like childhood stuff, but I just knew what was going to happen. But I didn't think that was kind of unique for me. So even when we had like schoolwork and they said, you have to read this and this chapter, and I was thinking, well, you won't ask us about those questions in the exam. I just knew that the questions would be different in a way. So, and even when I met people and they were introducing themselves to this kind of people, and I just would get the feeling that they're not the person they are trying to express themselves to be. So when I was quite young, I had this capability to read people. I could see that they looked happy, they were acting kind, but I could immediately feel that something was wrong. And of course, I used this all my childhood and into my youth and my young adult, but I didn't know that it was a gift before this particular
Yeah.
experience that night. But the thing that happened in the beginning was that my hands were getting really, really hot. So when I met people that had pain somewhere in the physical body, they will start to burn in the beginning. So that was kind of changing for me, because in my normal life, I would never feel like my hands were burning when I met people that had physical problems. So if I took the bus or the elevator, I would always get reminded that this person has an issue you need to help them with. So it just became a habit where I introduced myself and I said, oh, I'm so sorry, but do you have pain in your teeth, or do you have pain in your stomach or your shoulder? And in 100% of the time, they could confirm that that was the case. And little did I knew at the time that when we said goodbye, the healing had already started. I didn't even have to touch them. So that was actually the start of a different lifestyle in a way. So I decided quite soon to just quit my job. I had a good job in the marketing department in an oil company, but it felt meaningless in a way. It wasn't what I was supposed to do anymore. So after just a couple of weeks after this episode, when I met Aurora, I just decided that my vision is to do a difference in the world, and I want to help them to find their own power and heal themselves, just to be the channel that can guide people to this enormous loving power.
Wow. How was the first meeting with Aurora?
Oh, it was like the most peaceful experience I've ever noticed. In the beginning, I felt like Aurora was an angel that was introducing herself to me. And I immediately called my mom and I said, okay, this is just crazy. I've been introduced to this force or an angel that wants me to use my own abilities to help people. And you must probably think that I'm mentally ill or something. And then she was quite, can I say, yeah, she became quiet on the phone just for a minute. It felt like an hour, but it was just a minute. And she said, you know, Susanne, doesn't angels have the name like Michael or Gabriel or stuff like that? And I was just thinking, that's not the point, mother. I'm sitting here thinking that I have a mental disease because there's something great happening around me. And she was more into the name of the angel. But then in a way, it was the best thing she could do, because she never questioned what my experience was. She was just curious, who is this Aurora? And it took me quite a while to figure out who she was, because she started to integrate her power with me and her energy and her love. But after a while, it came to me that she's not an angel, but she's me in a parallel dimension. And who's better to evaluate, to share, to cherish, to make you the best version of yourself? It's maybe the part of you that it has already experienced everything you have and came a much more longer way.
Wow. Wow. That is a powerful meeting. And yeah, that is common. I have heard that you question yourself if are you going insane or what is happening. But we know that it is more between the heaven and earth.
Oh, yes.
And the more we tune into who we are, the more we understand that everything isn't like square, like that things is not A, B, C, D. It is so much more. You have the whole alphabet to, and we learn what we have learned now, Susanne. We can't even imagine what we have learned in 10 years. And if you see also in the evolvement that more and more knowledge is coming through also in about traumas, for example. So we are just more advanced in a way, and we take the contact to learn more how to help the earth in a way.
And I totally agree with you. And main thing has been over the years, like this meeting was back in 2009. And I can't even explain how everything has just been unfolding afterwards. Because after just a week or two, somehow the media found out that I was able to help people just by meeting them. So there was a lot of media calling me, coming to my doorstep, and they heard the amazing news from people that have been healthier. So I decided kind of soon to just end my career and start to meeting patients one-to-one. Well, we don't even call it patients, we call it clients. But it turned out to be a waiting list over 10 years. So after 1 week, my waiting list was 10 years. And that it's a lot to have on your shoulders when you're supposed to help people. And the thing is, when a person comes into the door and gets a much healthier and better person about themselves, you want to not only help them, you want to help their family members, their neighbors. So the rumors just went on. So the waiting list never went down. And that's a great news from a marketing perspective. But for me, that really wanted to help everybody, it was damaging to my health. Because I was just doing more and more and more and more, trying to get it over more and more clients. So in a day, I had about between 10 and 20 clients just that day. And I was even focusing on the clients who were there the day before and the day before that. They were emailing me, sending me text messages. So it was kind of overwhelming. And one day I told my husband that I don't know what, but something needs to change, because I have this vision to make a difference into the world, but it's not working because I have this enormous back pain, and I'm helping people with less back pains than I have myself. I couldn't even drive my car into my office. I had to walk because it was so painful. I couldn't even eat dinner with my family. I had to stand because it was so painful. So I went to bed one evening and I was kind of asleep, but in another way, just channeling stuff. And in the morning, I told my husband that we need to start a podcast, and I have the name of it. And he was just, okay. And it was kind of, yeah, sure. Because we need to tell people that there are this amazing healing energy that everybody can use. But I don't think everybody is aware of it. So we need to share experiences, tell them that it's not unique for me. Everybody can learn to handle it. They just need to know it's there. So the day after we started our podcast called Uhøytidelig Spirituell, it's like informal spirituality, because we wanted to make it calm and laid back and just talk about it as everything else. So just last week, we celebrated 100 episodes and almost 300,000 listeners. So it just means that people are interested in spirituality.
Yes.
But the reason why I told you about this, that this was the start of a big experience, because my husband said to me, now you have a unique possibility to send healing over the internet. You can try this, just an experiment, to do live healing. And I was saying, as we were talking, we're just recording everything. And I said, okay, if I can help one person that is getting better, it will be worth it. So sure, I can try. And on every one-to-one healing, I was always focusing on talking out loud, introducing my teams, my spiritual guides, the angels. So every person on the healing bench could follow what I was actually doing. So I've always been speaking loud when teams are coming into the energy field. So we sent that episode, went to bed, and the day after was insane. I think it was 500 emails of people experiencing enormous transformation, shoulders, headaches, and the feeling that something unique happened. So me and my husband was just looking at each other. Can this really be true? Can we actually do this in a take, and people can listen to it like 5 months after and it will still work? And yes, it really happened. And that was the start of a totally different energy for myself and for the people, because I started channeling down different guided healing meditations.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. And I have tried the meditation, and I had some pain in my knee. So I felt like it was moving some energy there. So I can confirm that it works.
Thank you. Oh, and the thing is that like the first guided healing I ever downloaded after that experience was actually when I was in a lot of pain myself. I have this unique gene that I don't respond to painkillers, and I had surgery because of my back problems. And when I wake up, it was so painful. I can't even describe it. And they were putting all this medication in me and it didn't work. And they were just looking at each other. She has so much medications now, and you can't even see that she's affected at all. And yeah, they decided to take this gene test of me, and it turned out that I don't respond at all. But when I was lying on my couch in pain, in tears, my guide said to me that this is a purpose. This is a plan about it all. And I was just crying and thinking, what about me? And they said, please put your phone on take, because we will guide you through it. And most people don't know this, but I am crying through the whole meditation. It was so strong. It was pain, it was relief, it was the connection with the spiritual guides. And they told me in the end that this is not just healing for you, it's healing for the people, because the world is doing a transformation. We need to understand that we don't need sickness anymore. We don't need this physical hinders. We don't need spiritual hinders. We are there to get the message out there and to help people. And that was the first guided healing I put out on my website, and the response was just enormous. And that was the start of a lot of different guided healings with different purposes. And the main thing that I found really interesting is that when they put me down, because it ended up being 6 surgeries in 1.5 years, with a lot of pain, a lot of frustration. But in a way, I felt so calm, because I knew it was an upgrade. Not for myself, but for the people. They needed to push me down so I could actually feel that frustration, the anger, the pain, to make that energy transform into the guided healing meditation.
Wow, that was, I have tears in my eyes, because it is so powerful when you've been through the same thing, and that you use, you use your pain
to do a shift for people.
Yes.
And the thing is, in that period of time, something else started to happening. And the first time was in one-to-one healing. I was still doing some one-to-one healing at the time. And there was this amazing client. And I just said, I know this healing will be really, really something special. I don't know why, I just know it. And it was a distant healing on the phone. So I was just lying on the floor. She was laying on her floor. And I just started as a normal, doing my normal pace, introducing my guides. And suddenly something happened. It came out this universal language from the light. And I just talked and talked and talked and talked. And that was the start of me channeling different light languages. And I always get the translation just after, but you don't need it because the vibration is so high in the energy. And that should be enough actually to send the healing. And actually now somebody wants to talk through me. Is it okay that the language is coming through?
Yes, yes. Of course.
Junatu kalakana ina evalu uti nini ini aili santa tunu ukutana aili sina aivinu ukutana zaili tunu kutinita ivela aichi tana utukunu uini aisi zila taini ila kuna uta alapana aisi ni I tunu uinai vila atanai zini ukutana fina ala kuna ala vala ichi ni ukunu zulu nunu vala ina aisi tana ina aili Inuvutu kuntana vaichi tana ina aisi. Eilunu kutana ali nain. En viktig transformasjon nå på gang. Og vi trenger mennesker med økt vibrasjon for å skape den overgangen. Vit at du har en sentral rolle I en oppgradering som foregår akkurat nå. Bruk dine parallelle dimensjoner til å innhente inspirasjon, for din vei også på vei til å endre liv. Vit at kraften som nå jobber gjennom oss et utgangspunkt, men for viderekommende det en oppgradering fra DNA mot DNFI og DNE, ditt energiavtrykk. Vit at I fremtiden så vil fysiske hindringer ikke være gjeldende. Fysiske prestasjoner vil ikke gjelde på lik linje. Det ditt energetiske uttrykk, din transformasjon, din endring av andre liv. Kjærligheten står I fokus, og parallelt med og bistår. Vi skal overlevere frykt, traumer, bistå I glede og transformasjon. Vi kommer I kjærlighet I dag. Vit at vi der for transformasjon fremover, I nåtid og I evigheten.
Wow.
Oi, oi, oi!
Wow. That was a strong message.
And I'm sorry, I don't channel it in English, and I'm not aware actually what the language was about this time because I usually black out. So I'm sorry, but maybe you can translate in a way for the audience because
Yes, I can write it in English under so they can have that. But that was really powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I was thinking before you said about the light language that, wow, what if she is going to? And then you said, if it's okay that I'm doing it. So yeah, we was tuned into each other. So thank you for that.
Welcome.
If you, Susanne, should say 5 life lessons that you have learned through your spiritual journey, what would it be and why?
I think the first one has to be that without pain, you won't see light. That's the first thing. And what I mean by that, you can't transform and you can't be a better version of yourself if you never experience pain.
Yeah.
That's the first. And I need to say trust, because the universe always has a plan for you. You just need to be able to trust the process when you're going through life. Number 3, love can overcome everything. As long as you have love to yourself and love to the community, people, and the world, you will always get that back in a way. The fourth is that I think that sickness is actually a symptom of your physical, your mental, and your spiritual health. So there's always something you can do yourself to overcome these boundaries. And the last is this: sky is the limit. If you really want to do a difference, you can do it. You just need to find your way, and you have to have it in your gut feeling and go from being on the brain and be guided by your heart. So I think that's kind of 5, I don't know if it's life lessons, but then, yeah, things that I find really important in my own life, at least.
Yeah. And I got goosebumps when you said the last one. It was, in a way, a message, I think, to the people that are listening here, that it is really important. All the lessons, but especially the 5th. And where can people find you, Susanne? Also the English-speaking persons that is listening today.
Everybody can find me on Instagram, Healer Susanne. I also have this English side that is called Heal by Susanne on Instagram. But of course, on the internet, healersusanne.com. It's both in English and Norwegian.
And what exciting projects or courses are you doing now at the moment?
Oh, it's different things actually, but the latest news is actually that I had my last surgery 6 weeks ago, and then again it was pain. But for 2 days I was just channeling, and I was writing down 46 oracle cards.
Wow.
And it's been an amazing experience, because I was kind of asking the universe, how can I help more people to make them in better contact with their intuition, so they can choose guiding healings by themselves? Because a lot of people are contacting me. They have all of my healings, and they're saying, what do I need this week? What do I need today? And I'm doing my best to help people. But then again, I need to tune into their energy field. So I was just putting out this message for my guides, and they said, we will help you by making your energy into this card. So people can just pick one card of the day, and it will be a message on it. And for the people who wants to take a guided healing, they can just read it into the booklet. So that was kind of the newest project I'm into now. And I put it on Instagram 2 days ago. And I wasn't planning to do this big at all. It was just this little spiritual guidance for people who really wants it. But after 2 days, there's a big waiting list. And I don't even know when they're coming, around Christmas, New Year's, around that time. So that's kind of amazing. But it just turns out it's not me that is actually doing this. It's a bigger purpose. So I'm just being a channel.
Wow. Thank you so much, Susanne. Do you have some something that you want to say to the people that has listened to this podcast?
Bear with me for the English. This is the first interview in English. So the next time I will be more prepared to do an English interview. But you have the power in yourself. And if you want to learn more about the healing power, you can go to my website. We have different Norwegian classes online where you can learn how to use the power for yourself and for other people. It's called Vekk din intuitive healer, and another course called Heal to Get Real. And you're all so very welcome.
I think your English was perfect, so nothing to
complain
about that. It was so good. Thank you so much for taking the time to be a guest here today. So thank you.
It's an honor, and thank you for being so open-minded, and thank you for letting me be me.